Am I the a-hole for taking $20,000 from my son? My daughter and her husband were unalived in a car accident. They were hit by a dump truck. We sued the trucking company and we were rewarded $500,000. The money doesn't usually go to the siblings, it goes to the parents, and none of it should have gone to my ex because he wasn't a good parent, but it did. Also because my ex threw a fit, our 5 children were rewarded $17,000 each. I used my portion plus the money from selling my old house to buy a new house. My son, 17 at the time and 34 now, didn't want the money because he didn't want to benefit from his sister's death. Once he turned 18 he had access to the money, and I would have things come up like one time our washer went out, and I needed to get a new washer and dryer and pedestals, so I would ask to borrow some money to pay for it. I needed money to go on vacation with my girlfriends, so I would ask to borrow $800, and eventually he only had $10,000 left, and he got sick of me asking to borrow money, so he just gave me the rest of it. Now he is resentful because I didn't ask any of my other kids for money, and he feels like I didn't use the money to better myself financially. He also feels like he just threw it away when he could have used that money to help someone or donated it to a charity. But he didn't want the money, and the money in this situation shouldn't go to the kids anyway. Am I the a-hole? Relevant comments. Info. You use the word borrow and give interchangeably throughly. Which is it? Did you borrow from your son or were you gifted the money? Really just asking so I can correctly tell you how you're an a-hole. OP. I asked to borrow it initially. But then he got sick of me asking to borrow it, so he just gave it to me. Comment. YTA without question because the math doesn't add up at all. 5 children, $17,000 each, equals $85,000. However, you said your son gave you $20,000, so where did the additional $3,000 come from? As well, within 1 year, you apparently borrowed $10,000 over 1 year, as well as having sold your old house for which you said you had money for. On top of that, just going by the original $85,000 minus the $500,000, reward, by the way, an extremely disgusting word to use in this situation, that leaves a $415,000 balance to explain where in the world it went because it surely all didn't go to your ex-husband. It just stinks to high heaven of pure greed. OP. You're right, the other $3,000 was for the washer and dryer. But it was that much money because the lawyers take so much, and I split that with my ex. The house I sold was a piece of crap and my ex took money when I sold that. And my ex-father put a lien on the house, so I had to pay that too. I just want to raise my kids in a nice house in a nice neighborhood. Comment. YTA. You took advantage of a young man for your own personal gain. For vacations and such. Not for things you needed, but for things you wanted. You didn't need a vacation, you didn't need a fancy washer and dryer. And you didn't ask your other kids, just the one who was a minor when he was awarded the funds. He is 34 now. He is resentful because he realizes you used him, all while saying his dad wasn't a good parent. OP. I needed to go on vacation, I'm a single mom and I need it for my mental health. Also, I didn't want an ugly washer dryer that didn't match in my house.